Okay, this is a video specifically for a friend of mine, good friend of mine, Greg and Shelly. I'm going to start inside the camper here. This is our Rockwood 8299 BS. What we like about it is it's got opposing slides, as you can see. So there's a lot of room here in the living room. And the key thing for us was having the TV in a place to where you could easily watch it from almost anywhere in the living area of the camper. A lot of them have rear living areas and they have chairs set up to be able to watch the TV. But when you sit on the couch, you have to turn your neck. And that's not the case with ours, so we really like it. This is also a bed. It's not too bad. I've slept on it. So we got a center aisle here. You were talking about the refrigerator. You wanted a commercial refrigerator. We have a double. I don't know whether you had that in your thing or not, but there's a lot of space in there. So I don't know if that would suffice for you guys, or if you still be looking for a commercial refrigerator. A lot of storage, typical microwave and stove. Got a ceiling fan up there, air conditioning unit down here. Got a temperature sensitive electric exhaust fan. You can set the temperature to have it turn on automatically, whatever temperature you want. Runs off 12 volts, so you don't have to have 110 to run that. You do have to have 110 to run that fan and that air conditioner. There's the controls here for the LED lighting above the awning outside, the small awning. I'll show you that in a minute. And obviously the switch for putting the awning in and out. And I've got a little temperature indicator and voltage indicator there, just plugged into the charging center. You can see right now about 12.3 volts. I've got my solar panel hooked up, but it's actually in the shade right now because of where the sun is. And the temperature. Here's the control panel here. Remotes for the exhaust fans. Typical fifth wheel. Here's the bathroom and nice size shower. We like the shower. Another exhaust fan here, same thing. You can set the temperature, have it automatically turn on. Got a place for a TV. We elected not to put a TV here. We have a spare TV we bring, and it sits on this dresser right here. And queen size bed. I think if we were to do it again, we'd try to get a king size, but we liked everything else in this camper so much that we settled for a queen. There's also an air conditioner in here, and it's a heat pump, or I guess they call it a heat pump. It will heat or cool. And what's nice about that is, as you probably well know, they're a little noisy. They're the Coleman Mach series. So if you're sitting down watching TV, you can turn on this one and it won't be so loud. And if you're trying to sleep, you can turn on the one down here. They're all hooked, both of them are hooked up to the ducting, so it blows through the entire camper. All the lighting is LED lighting. That's pretty typical now with most campers. I think that's all. We have a nice little Coleman coffee pot that sits on top of a burner instead of plugging into the outlet. That's the other coffee pot that does that. Okay, if we go outside, there's the model number of the camper. It says it's solar ready, and they have ZAMP. That's an advertisement to try to get you to buy the ZAMP solar stuff. When it says it's solar ready, it just means there's a receptacle, a standard 2-pin receptacle that you plug a flat connector into. I'll show you that too. So I wouldn't invest in the ZAMP solar stuff. Renogy is a better solar system and a lot less money. So here's the back of the camper. You can see the awnings. There's 2 awnings. So let's talk a little bit here. Right up there is a camera, wireless camera. Here's my Class 3 hitch that I had installed. Camping World did it. I think they did a reasonably good job. No complaints there. This is my solar powered flagpole. It extends up probably about 30 feet above the ground, and then charges the batteries, the solar panels on top during the day, and then lights the flag at night. And the batteries last about 12 hours. Here's the other slide, and then you saw there's also a bedroom slide. So 3 slides. Opposing slides really give you a nice big living area. One thing to note is the refrigerator is here, so it's an in-slide refrigerator. Air comes in here and then comes out here as it's cooling the coils on the back of the refrigerator. Not as efficient as a refrigerator that's not in the slide, because they can run the exhaust straight up out of the refrigerator and you get normal convection pulling the hot air out. With the in-slide refrigerators, you have to have a fan that runs and forces the air past the refrigerator. So we also have a solar system, a dish system for satellite TV. This model here is a Pathfinder Winegard Pathway X2. And you can have 2 tuners hooked to it, so you can have 2 TVs looking at different channels. The only restriction would be that the 2 channels have to be from the same satellite, because the dish will hone in on the satellite that has the channel that you're trying to watch. Most of Dish's channels are on one main satellite, but they do have some on others, so that may be a restriction. So there's the connection hose. We have external gas here. There's a connection back in there that then feeds the gas grill that's attached to the side of the camper here. And it's an okay grill. It's not as good as like Weber Q. Weber Q's got a lot thicker metal in it, so it heats more evenly, but it still does a pretty good job. So, there's the big awning. And the little awning. Now, here's the solar panel. It's about 100 watt, a little over 100 watts. And that's enough to keep the batteries topped off. The controller here shows right now 13.2 volts and 2.8 amps going to the batteries. Slightly in the shade a little bit from a tree this time of day. So this cable is a cable I made, and it comes up, and then this is just a standard 2-pole flat connector. and that does a good job. That solar panel folds up. You see there's a handle right here. Folds up and then goes in this case over here. This is a Renogy solar panel. So here's the case. It's really a high quality, it's thick material, and it just goes right in here and it's easy to carry. So let's see, let's go back over to, I'm going to talk about the generator. The generator is a Honda EU2000i, so it's a 2 kilowatt generator, and pretty quiet. And what I've got hooked up here is a second tank, and the theory there is, as the Honda burns fuel, it pulls a vacuum in the gas tank, and the normal cap that goes on there is this guy, and it's a vented cap. There's a little handle here, and so when it pulls a vacuum, if you have a transfer hose like this, it draws fuel from the other tank here, this Atwood, this flat Atwood, and basically what it does is it keeps the Honda generator tank full. So you end up with, this Atwood is 6 gallons, the Honda's 1 gallon, so you end up with 7 gallons, and that lasts for a really long time. We run this thing 4 or 5 hours a day, and we go for a week. And things like electric coffee pot, microwave, they really cause this to run hard. But when it's running the satellite system and the TV, it's just idling in economy mode and basically run forever. I'm not 100% happy with this right here. I've got another video on my channel where I tried just a straight length of hose, and I went down into the gas tank, and then I duct taped around to keep dirt and stuff out of there. Not the best solution, but it worked perfectly. This once in a while loses its prime and then stops pulling fuel from the flat Atwood, and I don't know if it's the tank. I loosened the cap here. Don't know if it's this connector here that's losing or what's going on, but it's I'm going to redo that so that it's reliable. I think that's about it with the camper. One of the things I wanted to show you was this Anderson hitch. So these are made in Idaho Falls, and they're really popular across the country. It's a ball connector that goes right down in there, so it's not a standard kingpin. This actually attaches to the kingpin of the trailer. And then what you have in the truck is their ultimate fifth wheel connection here. And I got an extra spare because I'm in Sawmill Canyon, and I tend to get flat tires up here. So this is an extra camper tire. So you can't see totally what, but it's just kind of a pyramid looking device. And you set your truck up with a standard B&W gooseneck ball, flip over ball connection that sits and just pops up through the bed, and then the fifth wheel, ultimate fifth wheel connection sits on top of that ball, locks in, and then it gives you another ball higher up to then lower the camper down onto the red around the camper. Got interrupted on my video. The people had gone down to the Forest Service place about a half mile that way and left a note for them in case we needed extra water, see if we could use their water. So they stopped by and talked with us, nice people. So anyways, so the trailer comes down on this, and I really like having this kind of a setup versus the standard hitch you see for fifth wheels. Like I said, I've got an extra spare tire here. I'm gonna put this stuff in here and talk a little bit about. So I got rock tamers. I think they're important. Keep rocks off your trailer as you're pulling. I could have put big mud flaps on when I bought the truck, but I elected to have the nicer looking mud flaps, and then I just bought these rock tamers. They're really easy. They just slide in your receiver here, and they actually do a good job. They say they're supposed to be about 3 to 4 inches off the ground. When the trailer sits down on the truck, they're right at about 3 inches. So you can see they don't work 100% because I do have some mud, but they do a pretty good job of keeping the stones and rocks and stuff down. Another gorgeous day here. Here's the ATVs. They're about 700 pounds a piece, full of fuel. They're a 500 and a 550. And they go on the trailer. These sides over here of the trailer, they fold down and they make a ramp. So you drive the ATV up the side there, and they sit kind of cattywampus this way instead of a line front to back that way. All said and done, when the trailer is full with 2 ATVs on it, it's 2,200 pounds. I can't remember how much the hitch weight is. It seems to me it's a couple hundred. I actually took this through the CAT scale down there at the truck stop south of town. I actually measured everything, so I have all the numbers, all the weights written down. I know exactly how much I'm pulling. The overall length when I'm pulling, doing a double pull, is 65 feet. I think 65 feet 1 inch. And I'm about 11,000 pounds on the trailer full, and then 2,200 here. And I don't remember, I think 8,000, 8,500 on my truck. So that's how much weight I'm pulling. Now, I've got a 3/4 ton diesel. I know a lot of people I see pulling with a 1 ton, a 3,500. If I were to buy a new truck, I think I'd still buy a 3/4 ton. I have no problems whatsoever. This is probably one of my best investments. GMC. It's a 2013, and I love it. Got 77,000 miles on it right now. More than enough power. So I think that's everything you need to know. I think all the details. Hope you guys can stop over and see the trailer firsthand. Again, we're Sawmill Canyon, about a half mile past the Forest Service house, and that's probably 5 miles from the bridge when you cross in and come up the canyon.